Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So we are getting ready for some end of year content. That's why this is all messy and things like that. But that will be a different video that will be either end of year content or beginning of 2024 content. I haven't decided yet. But I do have these two pretty large size stacks of books. I'm not gonna lie to you. I already filmed a TBR video where I played my game and did my normal TBR, and then I went down the rabbit hole of BookTube, and I found that a lot of people do some really fun things for December's TBR. Like Meg with books. She does the Wrapped Up series where she wraps up her TBR and then she just picks randomly. And that's where I was inspired from. But I will also link a couple other booktubers down below that you should go check out that do some really fun things. Like Amy from A-Star Reads does her advent calendar, and I'll link her channel down below. So go find some of these booktubers. They are really, really creative and really, really amazing. I am stealing Meg's idea. Hopefully she's okay with that. Please don't be mad. Kind of. I mean, I'm going to be unwrapping my TBR and vlogging it throughout the month of December. However, I have like 200 books on my TBR. Maybe even more. Come here, Bella. Come here, Mama. Hold 1 second. Come here, Mama. Over this way. No, wrong way. Mama, wrong way. Behind you. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. You got this. You got this. You got this, Mama. Okay. So, Bella is blind, so she can't see. So, I have to, call her and, clap and make as much noise as possible so that she can come find me. And here, this is Jellyman. This is Bella Boo. She's the one that can't see, so I was having to clap so that she could come find me. I have 12 hardback books and 12 paperback books on this pile of possibilities. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap these up and I'm going to put them on my book tree to the side of us. And as the month goes on, I'm going to be grabbing one book that's wrapped up and unwrapping it on camera and reading it and vlogging and then putting that vlog up. I do have lots of fun events happening in December too. Me and my husband are going to a hockey game, my first ever hockey game. We always do a Christmas light show. There's also Scrooge the musical that I might go to. And then, of course, family and things like that. So it's going to be a very busy month. And I'm going to try and take you with me for most of it, if not all of it. But I guess the first part is that we have to actually wrap these. So I'm not going to wrap them on camera, but just so that you know what kind of possibilities we have in December, I will go through these books fairly quickly. I'm also in a huge reading slump, so I tried to get lots of different kinds of books. There's some nonfiction, there's some emotional reads, there's some contemporary, there's some romance, there's some thrillers, there's some books that are gonna make me super, super happy and some that are gonna make me super, super sad. Because because I have no idea what I want to read. I haven't been liking anything, so is it bad that I'm in a reading slump and I'm going to be wrapping up 24 books that I'm hoping to get to in December? Probably. Am I going to do it anyway? For sure. So I'm going to put all the books that I need to wrap up right here over to the side of me for now. And then I will get to wrapping them later on today. But I also have to film this other video that I'm working on, like I said, end of year or new content for 2024. Anyways, let's just get into this. I'm stalling, so let's just do this. I don't know if I'm going to tell you a lot about these. Yeah, I think I'm going to tell you a little bit about these books. So let's start with the hardback books. I think that I have 12 hardback and 12 paperback, because 12 and 12 together equals 24. I know, you're welcome. So the first thing is A History of Wild Places by Shay Earnshaw. First off, this cover is just magnificent. It says, Travis has an unusual talent for locating missing people. Hired by families as a last resort, he requires only a single object to find the person who has vanished. When he takes on the case of Maggie St. James, a well-known author of dark children's books, he's led to a place many believe to only be a legend. So I've heard that there's magical elements. I don't know if it's fantasy or just like magical realism, but it's also a mystery of this missing author. And I don't know what to expect. It says, a twisting, engrossing delight. What a wonderful rabbit hole to fall down. I don't know which ones I'm actually like wanting to get on my TBR more than the rest, because I'm in a huge slump. So then there's The Lost Manuscript by Kathy Boudin. This is told in a series of letters that this woman named Anne finds in a hotel when she's on vacation, and these letters kind of answer this mystery that has been a legend where she went to visit, or where she's at. It says, a delightful literary puzzle, as addictive as a thriller, as moving as a confession. So that might be pretty interesting. I did put some like literary things on here, but then I put some thrillers. I just put a big bunch of different things that I'm hoping will kind of get me out of a slump. This one I'm hoping doesn't come up. Right now I don't want to read this. It's beautiful, but it's Robert Frost, and like poetry is either really hit or really miss, and I feel like Robert Frost in particular, like a lot of great poets are this came out a long time ago. So the language they use sometimes is not the same as what we would speak like today, and sometimes that takes me out of the poetry. I do really love poetry and I love Robert Frost. I just am not in the mood for it, but that's beautiful and it screams winter. So I'm gonna put it in this pile of possibilities. Then I have Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger. This is the start of the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. I think there's 9 of them. I only own 8 of them, or 7 of them. But this one was actually on my TBR in December when I played my game, because my husband saw how big it was and I got husband pick and he picked this one. But I'm hoping, like, it is middle grade, it is fantasy. I'm not really a fantasy reader unless it's middle grade. Or sometimes young adult, no, just middle grade, which is super, super duper weird. But I'm going to put this one on here, give it a shot. I'm probably not super excited to start a new series. I would rather work on one that I'm in the middle of already. Then I have our thriller. Is this our first thriller? Yes, our first thriller. This is The Dilemma by B.A. Paris. Knowing the truth will destroy her. Keeping it secret will destroy him. I think it's a domestic thriller. That's all I know. Then I have At the Edge of the Hots by Catherine Slageman, Literary Award winner. So it's literary fiction that follows this woman named Maddie who is homeless at age 20, and she lives in Golden Gate Park with her dog, I think. So it's just gonna be really, really hard to read, really emotional. Then I tried to read this earlier this year, but it starts on Christmas Eve. So it kind of gave me the idea that it was more of a Christmas book. I've never read this book. Y'all are gonna not be happy. Like, you're gonna be like, you have to read it. That's Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. And I don't know anything about this. I think that it follows like four sisters during the Civil War or right after the Civil War. It's a classic that everyone knows. I don't like war books. I don't even read historical fiction like often because most of them are about war or have war in them. That's not my thing, and this book is, look at that. It's so big. This is like 800 pages, and the text, okay, 777 pages, but the text is fairly small. That's pretty small. It kind of reminds me of a mass market paperback, which I absolutely hate because the writing, the text is too small. But I'm nervous for this one to come up, but part of me would be okay with this one coming up. So I don't really know. I just don't want to be in a reading slump anymore, if I'm being honest with you. If it doesn't come up in December's TBR, then that one will be on part of my 24 books I must read in 2024. This one I just got yesterday. It was $5. And it's the St. Ambrose School for Girls. This is a academic thriller. It says Heather meets the secret history in this thrilling coming-of-age novel set in a boarding school where the secrets are devastating and deadly. I'm going to save my two nonfiction picks for later because I got them for the same reason. So then we have a romance, which is Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan, I think. Nora's life is about to get a rewrite. Nora knows the formula for love better than anyone. As a romance screenwriter, it's her job. But then her too-good-to-work husband leaves her and their two kids, and Nora turns her marriage's collapse into cash, writing the best script of her life. When the script is picked up for the big screen and set to film at her 100-year-old home with former sexiest man alive, Leo, cast as her ex-husband, Nora's life will never be the same. Ooh, that one would be cute. I would be okay with that one too. I have this emotional literary mystery called Happiness Falls by Angie Kim. I've heard amazing things about this. This just came out in August of this year. But I loved Miracle Creek by this author. Basically, in this book, you follow a South Korean family whose dad goes missing, and a lot of the story is told, like, I think it's all told from someone else's perspective, and like you're kind of in the dark about where dad went to. And I've heard so many people say that this is very emotional and hard to read, but Angie Kim does emotional literary fiction so well that I'm super excited to get to this novel. Our last two hardcover books are both nonfiction. They're the only two nonfiction that I have on this potential TBR. Let me just show you. I know that I never met either of these two men in life, like in real life, but I feel like I know them quite well, and both of these celebrities were very close to my heart. So when they passed away, it was actually really hard for me. The first one is Matthew Perry. He died not that long ago, this year actually, and his memoir came out a couple years ago. It was Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I have read part of this book already. I'm listening to it primarily on audiobook because you have to read memoirs on audiobook, or like, are you reading their memoir? Most of the time with celebrities, they narrate their own audiobooks. And that is true for Matthew Perry. And he talks a lot about his struggles in life. Like, I love the memoirs that are more about the struggles, the things they struggled with, because a lot of people idolize celebrities and they're like, oh, they're so perfect. But he talks about the things that are really, really hard to think about. Like, he talks about his drug addiction. He talks about his alcoholism. He talks about, I think he was in like a coma for 7 days. And he talks about just the things that are really hard to even think about. And I just need to I need to finish this novel. And this last one, that's my last hardback book, is The Answer Is by Alex Trebek, Reflections on My Life. So if you don't know, Alex Trebek was the host of Jeopardy. He's the one that made Jeopardy what it became, what it is. Although, like, it's never going to be the same because we lost Alex Trebek. He got sick a few years ago. A couple of years ago now. And he passed away. And, like, I've been holding on to this book, telling myself that I can't read it because me and my grandfather, we used to watch Jeopardy and make up silly answers and like make silly faces at each other on the couch. And it was so much fun. And like, it sounds silly, but by reading this, I felt like I was saying, like, Grandpa wasn't special to me. And like, it's not that at all. It's just, it's time for me to finally, like, hear Alex Trebek's story. This one is not narrated by Alex Trebek. It's narrated by the new Jeopardy host, the man. I don't remember his name. But, if I want a good cry, then I have a couple of nonfictions that are just going to just make me an emotional hot mess. So now I have 12 paperback books that are on my potential list. There's The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. Everyone has read this and everyone loves this. I think this came out in 2022. But it says, "Welcome to the family," Nina Winchester says, as I shake her elegant, manicured hand. I smile politely, gazing around the marble hallway. Working here is my last chance to start fresh. I can pretend to be whoever I like, but I'll soon learn that the Winchester secrets are far more dangerous than my own. Then I have this winter romance. Like, she's pretty small, and it's like winter on the cover, so that's why I picked this one. It says The Princess and Her Bodyguard, The Royal Mess by Mary Janice Davidson. So I think it's a royal tea romance with the prince falling in love with her bodyguard. The princess falling in love with her bodyguard. I've read one of those before, but it was The Bodyguard by Catherine Senner, and it was kind of reverse, where the female was the bodyguard to the prince, and that one was pretty fun, so I would not mind that at all. Then this one has the highest potential to be a DNF out of all these books. This one and Little Women, if I'm being honest. But this is Brother by Anya Alborn. This is a horror novel that has the messed up family trope. I don't really know what to expect from this. I just know that a lot of booktubers have been praising this. They say that this is super scary, kind of gross. The kind of gross scares me because I don't like gross. Like, I DNF'd The Troop because it was too much body horror. So if it's like disgusting like that, this one does have the highest potential to be a DNF. But I do really want to try it before I knock it. Then the next two I have audiobooks for, so I'm kind of hoping that one or both of these come up. So this one, they're both romances. This one is Waiting for Tom Hanks by Carrie Winfrey. This is the first in a romance duet. And I already read Not Like the Movies, which is the sequel. I didn't realize it was part of a series, but they're companion novels, so technically you can read them, in any order. But this is about this woman named Annie who is obsessed with romantic comedies, and then she just wants her world to be like a romantic comedy who's waiting for Tom Hanks, and it's just gonna be like a real cute feel-good book. The audiobook for Not Like the Movies was really, really good, so I'm expecting the audiobook for Waiting for Tom Hanks to be pretty good too. And then this one I also have an audiobook. This is a male romance. It's called A Dash of Salt and Pepper by Kazuko Jackson. This is a male romance about these two chefs who work in the same kitchen. So they're like rivals to lovers, and I think it's a pretty slow burn because, it's like 400 pages. And I'm here for it. That sounds great. Then I have a shorty. This is The Witch Doesn't Burn in this one by Amanda Lovelace. So again, more poetry. Usually Amanda Lovelace's Poetry is very emotional for me. It either makes me super happy or it makes me cry my little eyes out. Then I have, let's see, I will move that. Okay, I have 2 thrillers. The first one is The Swap by Robin Harding. This follows, it's kind of like a domestic thriller, I think. It follows this family, this mom and this husband and this wife, who are getting bored with their relationship, so they start like swapping partners with their friends, and I'm sure that it gets messy and, you know, yeah, messy and interesting, so I don't really know anything else. Then we have The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. The sequel to this just came out in this year. This is The Kind Worth Killing. You follow Lily and Ted, who meet on this airplane, and they strike this deal where if Lily kills Ted's wife, then Ted will kill Lily's husband. We are on the 7 Days of Us by Francesca Hornack. This is the only holiday book on my TBR. The only holiday book on my TBR. Next year I might do like a test to see if I like holiday books. Maybe I'll collect a couple for the month of December, because I love holiday movies, like Hallmark movies. The cheesier the better for me. But I think I've only tried a couple holiday books, so I want to try some more. But this one follows the Birch family, and they have to go into quarantine. So I'm not even sure. I thought it was a romance, but I think that it's just like a family holiday book. I have 3 books left. The first one is either chick lit or romance. I'm not entirely sure. Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. This is a second chance love story. I think it says a love-hate love story. And I just know that a lot of people were raving about this book when it first came out several years ago, and that everyone loved this book. I missed the train on this one and I never read it, but I found it at my local used bookstore and decided to pick it up. And then our last 2 are going to be emotional literary fiction books. I guess it's a vibe that I'm going with. The first one is Beartown by Frederick Bachman. This one has been on my radar for a very long time, especially after I read Anxious People and loved it. This one is a lot of people's favorite Frederick Bachman book. So this follows this Michigan city called Beartown, where they're like obsessed with hockey. I think this would be really cool to pick up the week that I'm going to a hockey game. I could start it and then go to the hockey game and like tell you, like, I don't know. I just think that'd be like some vibes. I think that'd be real cool. But they are obsessed with hockey in Beartown, and the hockey star assaults a girl at a party, and it kind of divides the town, because it's like some of them are like, oh well, it's the girl's fault for the way she was dressed, for leading him on, for, you know, different things like that. But then other people are like, no, a guy, it's his fault because he's the one that actually assaulted her. And I think that you follow different perspectives in this town, and this one's gonna be an emotional wreck of a novel to read, but I've been wanting to read it for a while, so if I got that one, I wouldn't be sad. I don't think I'd be happy either. But speaking of sadness, we also have The Two Lives of Lydia Bird by Josie Silver. This one follows Lydia and Freddie, who are in love. They're about to get married after they've been in love for a decade. It is Lydia's 28th birthday, and Freddie dies. So this is like a tragic story about grief, and I don't know how, because logically it can't happen, but somehow Lydia gets another shot at love with Freddie, and so she can go back and relive her life with him. But I'm not exactly sure what that means, so I'm expecting like a lot of grief, a lot of like heartwarmingness, and it says a dreamy love story, a moving story of grief and finding one's way back. I think this one will wreck me as well, but apparently I like books that wreck me. So those are going to be my choices. I'm going to wrap them later and put them on my book tree. If I've done that, then there will be a picture of the book tree right here, but if not, more than likely not. I'm running behind on filming and on editing and everything like that. This video has to be done by tomorrow. So if you don't get that picture, then it's okay, but I'm hoping that I will like pick and unwrap a book. Then we will vlog me reading it, and maybe some of the Christmas events that we do, or maybe even non-Christmas events. Like we're gonna go to a hockey game. That's not really a Christmas event, but it's something that is exciting. So I'll just take you with me on some of my December adventures, or maybe all of my December adventures. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel if you are new around here, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye. Mama, can you say bye-bye? Say I love you guys. Bellaboo. Oh my goodness.